welcome back to Ask Housing. This time we're in Bengaluru catching up with our second ever lady guest on the show. So I'm really excited. Reeza Sebastian is Senior VP Residential Business at the Embassy Group. What she has done is she has spearheaded the residential business in a company that's known for its stellar commercial properties. Reeza, great to have you on our show. I'm Jhumur Ghosh, I'm the editor-in-chief of Housing.com News, and the conversation today will be about whether there are enough women in real estate in leadership positions. So Reeza, how easy or difficult was it for you to sort of bring up a vertical in a company whose DNA right now is sort of identified as a commercial real estate company? So how did that journey begin to create the residential vertical?
So Embassy historically has been a residential brand.
Okay.
We built our residential portfolio, building projects in the heart of the city, luxury residential projects, larger formats, which was, not heard of in those times. And that's almost 30 plus years ago.
Yeah.
But between the years 2005 to 10, we took a break from the residential business.
Okay.
And that's also because we sensed an opportunity in the commercial space of building integrated office parks. So sensing that opportunity well ahead has helped us to reap the dividends that we're looking for in the commercial arena and has established us as a very strong commercial player, like you're saying. But in the year 2010, when we were revisiting our entire land bank, so to speak, and trying to understand where is it that we need to go next, the easiest thing would have been to actually go into the building the 2-bedroom, 1,200 square feet, or a 3-bedroom, which is 15 to 1,800, and that was what was selling in the market. But what we were looking for is the fact that, when we were doing market research, and the fact that number of software professionals were actually returning, and we were hearing comments in the market about how good a quality of life that they lived abroad, but you're not able to get that similar quality of life back in India. So we actually built our entire residential portfolio around 4 main pillars. It was around product differentiation, it was around customer relevance to market, it was about customer service and ensuring future readiness. So sustainability has become a very key driver of how we built even our luxury portfolio. So, and that's how the entire residential portfolio started getting built. So from the year 2010 to now, we've rolled out close to 6 projects. That's about 10 million square feet of ongoing construction and 6 million under various stages of planning.
When you were setting up the business processes, because the mindset, is so different for residential as well as commercial. So how did you sort of, straddle that, how did you create, a process, which was very, ready for residential real estate?
So at Embassy, we are divided into various verticals, and actually held by the same person, which is Mr. Jeetu Virwani. And he's got the dynamism and the focus to kind of straddle both these sectors, and we have thereafter entered into various other sectors as well. And Jeetu, I think, comes with the knowledge and comes with an intrinsic ability to identify others' needs and ensuring that we stay true to that space, right? So it's not just about drawing something on a blueprint, but actually being able to deliver it right through, when you're, especially when you're delivering ultra luxury products. So driving it straight from the hem, and then passing that knowledge and that down to the team and building the team, training them, empowering them to actually deliver on these promises has been very critical and key to what we do. And we've been successful at doing that.
Yeah, so you've clearly been successful, because I'd like to talk about, one of the recent transactions that the Embassy Group had, and it's being touted as one of South India's biggest, residential unit sales, which is, I'm referring to the Four Seasons private residences, at Embassy 1, which was sold for an impressive 50 crore rupees. Now, tell us a little bit about, the kind of sort of back-end work that goes into securing a transaction of this magnitude. I mean, how did that happen?
I think, what is important, I should correct you, was saying it is the highest residential deal that has been in for a single apartment transaction. And it is what we are trying to do again at Embassy is to build relationships, and I think that's something at the core of whatever we do, and it's very important to us. It is the highest deal that was done in Bangalore, and it is not just an achievement of Embassy. I think it resonates with the market confidence that Bangalore has as a city. It required us to work very closely with the customer, manage external influencers, because the customer is not just his own entity. He's influenced by his his peers as well. So it required us to do that. It also required me to actually work with the team at every step and guide them on what are the right steps to take, what is the right message to give. Because Four Seasons Private Residence as a brand is known world over, coveted by many, but the kind of service and the experience that is promised to a customer is not something that has been replicated and can be replicated so easily. So to be able to translate that and to be able to educate the customer about the aspects of it then becomes a key and integral selling point. So working with the team and building that around, and ensuring that we are available to the customer at all given points of time to ensure his queries answered, to ensure that he's taken care of, was the way we went about doing this.
So you're talking about peers and influencers. So you're at a leadership role in your company. So when you look around, do you see enough women in real estate who are in leadership positions? And what advice would you give to a woman who aspires to be in a leadership role in the real estate sector?
Not as many as I would like.
Yes, absolutely.
And I think
I think you speak for a lot of us here.
So it's very natural that you walk into a real estate conference or an event and you see a room full of men. I've been addressed at an awards conference as Mr. Reeza. And then when I went up to stage to collect the award, she hurriedly corrected herself. Sorry, Miss Reeza. So it was a room. It is a room full of men that we look at. But what defines women in leadership positions in real estate is the ability to actually being able to connect with the customer, that intuitiveness, the perseverance to actually stick it out through those difficult days. Because finally, human touch is paramount in real estate. Okay, but at a leadership position, and as in when you're starting off your career, to be able to develop a passion for learning, acquire that domain knowledge and stay invested in it, right? So it is important to do that and for us to actually help build a very gender diverse team. I don't think it can just be a women alone team. It has to be a gender diverse team. You have to train them. There is a lot of long-term mentorship that you have to put into the process, and empowering them will go a long way in how you build your team, which will actually then accelerate your growth as a leader as well.
So, you're talking about, the things that as women we bring to the sector. What about the sector itself? Do you think this sector sort of lends itself to work-life balance, which is very important, especially for women? What has been your experience? Is it possible to achieve work-life balance in a very demanding sector like real estate?
It depends. It varies from, as the culture varies from organization to organization. I've been blessed with joining a company which actually promotes this work-life balance. Women, I think, are naturally good at multitasking. They do balance family and work at a, and owing to the nature and the complexity of the business, these are very critical aspects that we look for when we hire women as well. It's important, and that maintaining that work-life balance. And I think at Embassy, we are one of the few companies who actually promote a 5-day week, so that people come back fresh to start the week, and they're able to channelize their energies in the correct manner.
So, my last question to you is one that I ask with a lot of hope, and you touched upon gender diversity, earlier. So, do you believe, that in the coming months, years, decades, the gender diversity will increase in the sector, that we are going to see more and more women coming into the workforce at every level, that's from the grassroots, to the top management level? Do you think we will become a more gender diverse sector in the coming years?
Yes, I think that, what I have been reading about is the fact that real estate is today a $180 million opportunity. So you are looking at smart cities coming about. There are about 45 million homes to be delivered. Home ownership percentage in India is very low. So you are looking at close to 4 million professionals being required in this industry over the coming years. So why not women? you know, and the fact that residential real estate actually requires women to be at the forefront because they are so good at being able to connect with customers. So irrespective of industry, I mean, irrespective of industry, whichever industry they come in, I think they would find a place in the residential real estate or in real estate as a whole. When you're looking at it from a buyer's perspective, in a recent Economic Times survey, they said that, you know, 1/5 of the buyers in India are single women. Okay, there are many aspects to this because, you know, there are banks are offering discounts on applicable home loans. The processing fees of certain corporate companies are coming down. You also find that in certain states, there is a 2% deduction. Apart from that, you know, as these initiatives like the Housing for All by 2022 requires women to be a sole owner or a co-owner for houses constructed, constructed under this mission. So if you look at it from that perspective, these fabulous initiatives by financial institutions as well as governments are ensuring that the women empowerment and rights are taking center stage, and this will pave the way for a very strong India in the near future.
Yeah, well, great words to end the conversation by. That's all that we have time for today. Thank you so much for tuning in. Do follow us on Facebook, LinkedIn and Twitter. Thank you again for tuning in. I'll see you guys soon. Bye-bye.